anybody that says, I believe in aliens.
Well, no, I wouldn't. Not at all. Um, because again, I don't. I'm not sure whether that's a phrase I would use. I believe in aliens. I'm not sure it's a kind of. Is it that black and white? But I would say, for my part, on books I've read, and I do read quite a lot,
Yeah.
I think I can say I have no doubts. Not only that there are aliens, i.e., other life forms, other creatures, whatever we want to call them, in other parts of this vast universe.
Mhm.
I think the odds against that would be ridiculous. It's so huge, as we talked about before. There almost has to be other life that has emerged or has been created. So, yeah, but I also believe on some very interesting books, which probably people tend never to read. I believe aliens have actually been on the Earth. Now
Right.
that might put me in the Loopy brigade. You might think, oh, that sounds a bit crazy, but because yeah, sometimes some people will think, oh, this this guy believes been aliens on the Earth, but I do, and I don't say it lightly. I've not just read a couple of books and think, oh yeah, I think it's true. There's evidence which has never really been examined properly. It's been hushed up. There's so many examples of things being hushed up. In one book about Rendlesham, which is in Norfolk in this country, going back a few years, I can't remember when it was, but there was supposedly some sort of spacecraft landed there, and it was an American Air Force base actually,
Right.
Rendlesham, and there was evidence, by all accounts, of some creatures being spoken to. Now,
Wow.
there's a great book, and funnily enough, so I heard someone talking about this about 3 or 4 weeks ago on TV, and they said pretty much what I'm saying, that if you read a book like that, as well as other books, you get a
Mm.
picture at how things are hushed up and so on. But there's lots of evidence of that the ground was there was radioactivity and a great mark on the ground where this thing was supposed to have landed. Now, as I say, I don't want to go down this road too much because I also have an open mind and I think, well, yeah, although there's a lot of convincing evidence,
Mm.
the bottom line is until something becomes really mainstream and we are told the truth,
Mm.
then you still have to say, I can't be 100% sure. But on balance, I certainly think there's aliens in the universe. And I do pretty much believe that they have visited this earth. And there's a lot more I could say, but I won't obviously say it now about
No,
what I think has happened. Yeah, interesting subject.
it is. It is. Divides opinions, doesn't
It
it?
divides opinions. Yeah,
It does.
absolutely.
It does, yeah. Well, I don't believe in aliens, so but I respect people that believe in aliens. Because it takes guts to actually believe in something that a lot of people
Yeah.
think don't exist. So, that's bravery. Now, cryptocurrency, what do you make of it?
Yeah, well, it's a difficult one, really.
Hmm.
Bitcoin and these other things. It seems that some people make a lot of money out of it.
Hmm.
Um, I actually responded, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago to an advert which appeared to be um, by a financial man on television who was quite well known. I forget his name. Television who was quite well known. I forget his name. I say appears to be because I do wonder. I do
Yeah.
wonder if AI, artificial intelligence, nowadays is kind of used to very much say to people that this is that famous person. the money man or somebody else, and they're saying,
Mm.
look, the government don't want people to know this, but if you do this, you invest £200 or £250 in Bitcoin, etc. It will kind of grow week by week by week. Now, perhaps there are some people who have evidence of that. What I found in my case, and it seemed very authentic, the whole advert I saw,
Yeah.
was that within a couple of days of sending this money, um, I was getting calls 2, 3 times a day from various places who were keen to kind of sign me up for more stuff.
Mm.
And yeah, they were going to do this with that investment, and I was going to get that. I mean, I never did it to think I'd make much money, but it was another way of saving. We'd come back to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, the upshot was I managed to get the money back 6 months later, having been deluged with phone calls. Actually, that went on for 2 or 3 years. People phoning, oh, there's still some money on your Bitcoin account. We can do this for you. And I got to the point where I just blocked these calls because it was
Mm.
becoming a real pain.
Mm.
So that was not a great example for me of what that is about. Whether or not it will become more mainstream, I don't know. I don't know. And of course, it's sometimes difficult to understand because although largely it's kind of a hypothetical means of currency, there are also such things as Bitcoin as one example of cryptocurrency. There are, and some people actually possess this. So it will be a currency to sit alongside the more traditional currencies.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't think I would be investing in Bitcoin, but that's not, again, it's not financial advice to anybody else. If someone
Yeah.
thinks give it a go, they should do it. But
Yeah.
but don't come to me for advice because my own limited experience of that was not great. But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean it doesn't work for some people. I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
But yeah, not something I would now get involved in.
No, no. I've never been involved in Bitcoin. I do have a Bitcoin wallet, but I've never used it. It's empty.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I don't I don't know how I got it, but it's empty. So I check it. Sometimes they send me an email saying, "Oh, policy changes and blah blah blah." So I'll read through it, and I think, nah,
Mm.
I want to be able to see my money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.